OFA, and other charitable organizations in your will or trust. Gifts to nonprofit organizations in your estate planning can help continue your connection to the causes that are important to you. For information, call us at 877-838-5292.
What's up, Yuma? I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
And on today's program, we are first starting off the show with Tanya. She's one of Yuma's boss babes. So we're going to find out who she's bossing around and who all these women are. And I think they get together, and I think they're just bosses or something. I don't know. She's going to let us know more about it, as well as Araceli. And you can tell us a little bit more about what she does.
With Rural Arizona Action.
What do they do?
And they help folks, they go legislate and meet with legislators in Phoenix.
All right, so stay tuned for What's Up Yuma Radio beginning right now on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
You can also view our show on the Border Radio Facebook page and the KWC YouTube page. And don't forget, you can reach out to us by email at whatsupyumaradio@gmail.com.
Good luck.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
Chili from Philly, Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio, or another episode of What's Up Yuma Radio. I'm Johnny Porter.
And I'm Victor Calderon.
And today's program, yes, we have one of Yuma's bosses. I think she just bosses everybody around Yuma or something like that. I don't know. It could be a little bit more nuanced, but I'm talking about Tanya. And how do you say your last name? Camarillo? Camarillo.
Yes.
Camarillo. All right. I should have practiced that and then enunciated a few times.
Come on, Johnny.
Yeah. It's funny because before we get into it, I do the demolition derby at the fair now.
Okay.
I'm doing it, and the fair's coming up. And I know I've grown up in Yuma, and I've been here long enough to know when I see those two L's together, I'm not supposed to say the L part, right?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do, guys?
It's like a Y.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Camarillo.
Camarillo, right? So
there you go.
Anyway, so I'm doing the demolition derby at this last fall festival, and I keep saying the L's, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I get a bunch of crap for it afterwards. Yeah. It's like, come on, gringo, you grew up here, And I was like, I know, but I was a little nervous. It was the first time I did it. Was this last fall festival announced the demolition derby, and I'm like, man, I felt so embarrassed, like, because I should know better by that. And then same thing. And then somebody was there named Wedo. And I call him Guero.
Oh.
And it's like, no. But it was like I was nervous. It was my first time doing the demolition derby. People are wrecking into each other. There's a lot of action. So, yes. Camarillo. Camarillo?
Yes.
Camarillo. Okay. Very
all
good.
Right,
all right.
Johnny El
Thank
Gringo.
you for bearing with me and all that. But no, so we've had you on before.
Yes.
You had Off-Road for Autism.
Correct.
Right? You also work for Allo.
I do.
Allo, who's a underwriter here at KWC and KOFA. So thank you so much for that. And so I want to start before we get into the Yuma Boss Babe stuff is how'd that go, the off-road event for autism?
You know what? It was good. It was great. We always have room for improvement. The guys are doing an amazing job. They started handing out the checks, to some of the people that they're donating to, but they are going strong, and they're planning for another event this year. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So like for folks that missed the episode again, like maybe having a kid or an emergency happened, they couldn't watch or listen.
They just missed the episode.
So okay, there you go, Victor. Keep saying.
They don't need a reason, man.
I know. I just tease. I just tease. But those that couldn't or didn't listen, tell everybody about that event and your involvement, because it's not particularly your event, right? But you kind of got in with it, and you do PR for Allo. You don't mind being around and kind of saying and talking. A lot of people are, right? But tell everybody how you got involved and what it was.
So Off-Road for Autism is a group of guys that they're involved in off-roading. They got together and they're like, hey, we don't have enough awareness for autism. We see that there's ABAs and here and there, but a lot of people don't know how to get to that, right? So
what is an ABA for those that don't even know what that is?
It's therapy. And for, kids that have autism. So they brought me in because of my background and work, and they're like, hey, Tanya, we need help to kick this off. And I did. I helped them out kick it off, and they're going strong and they're doing great. So.
Yeah, you did. And you reached out to me, and that's how we were have what was the gentleman's name? I forget. Julio?
Yes.
Yeah, he came out. He was a little shy, so I could see.
He was so nervous.
He was nervous, and so
that
I
happens.
could, I could see why they needed you.
He said his son was, I think he said he was like 12 or something like that, and he's only 10.
Oh,
so
yeah.
his wife calls like, what are you doing? He's like, I was just nervous. But he did great.
And that happens, right? People, you get nervous, you mess up. And I've had people, like, I've been nervous before on the show, and I've messed up. Right. And then I get phone calls like, hey, you totally butchered that, or you messed that up. And I was like, well, I didn't purposely do it.
Right.
You know, I just had a momentary lapse, and that was it. But
it's live radio. So, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. You could say things like "good luck" on the billboard. And,
like people have probably heard, like, because we have, we're right outside. We have students right outside of here on the college campus. So we have a pool table and we have an air hockey, and those pool balls and air hockey discs do not stay on the tables.
No.
So if you hear like a thud, that's like one of them hitting our wall. So our wall probably has a bunch of dents on the other side, but that's what that noise is.
Yeah, it's
live radio.
Live radio, it happens. Yeah. But so he forgot how old his kid was. It happens, right?
I mean, he did great.
But he did great. And so let's talk about the actual night though. Like, how did it go that day? Because the off-roaders, they were going to come and bring their vehicles, right? Like ATVs or RAZEs and all that good stuff. Did you go? Were you able to attend?
Yes, we did. There were a lot of events going on that day, but we were so thankful for everybody that showed up. A lot of our off-roaders, they took the, toys for the kids. So almost every single kid left with a toy, which is amazing. They were able to get some funds. I want to say they got about $5,000 or a little bit over. So now that they're again, it was their very first event. So they were so excited, for their outcome and everything. And, we had food vendors, we had music, we had, earmuffs for the, kids that are more sensitive to noise.
Because it's sensory issues, that's one of the issues with some of the kids that are autistic, right? So you got to look out for them. And obviously, loud music, and then the ATVs could be loud. So you took those things into consideration.
Yes. So they weren't, we told them to not have the ATVs on just for that, so we had our music, but if any child needed those earmuffs, when they came in, they signed up and we told them, do you need some? We were giving those out. Yeah.
And so, the way you were raising money was the people that came and brought their ATVs, they registered, correct?
Correct. And then we had also some amazing sponsors. We had Aloe, Carnalaw, Maximus Gym, Eco Energy. I mean, the list went on. So they were so thankful for everybody that helped out.
So cool. And so you mentioned Aloe, and you're still at Aloe, and I think you have the shirt on. Let's see, what is it? Is that a website?
This is
Aloe Latino.
AloeLatino.com.
What is it? What's that all about?
So we have a big Latino community here, right? So why'd
you look at Victor when you said that? I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Because Johnny El Gringo over there. No.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Okay, we have a Latino community.
Thank you. Yeah.
So it's, we want to make everybody feel comfortable. Not everybody is bilingual. So if you go onto our website, you'll know there's, something in Spanish.
Yeah.
If you call us, you're going to have someone in Spanish. If you chat in, emphasis, if you reach out to our social team, we are not AI. You're not going to get a prompted response. Okay. So if all of our Latinos, if they reach in and it's in Spanish, you're going to get someone.
Yeah, you're going to get a live person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've had that. I'm like, oh, well, I got an AI response. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, no, you did it.
It's funny you bring that up because it was on the news that in Washington State there was a call-in number, right, or some community organization, and people called in and it was an AI voice.
Oh no.
There was it was AI voice in English with a Spanish accent, so it was todos ustedes, gracias por hablar, and it was totally bad AI, with a bad accent.
That's horrible.
So, but you get an actual person when you call or email. You get an actual response from a human being.
Yeah. So I'm gonna squirrel and segue real quick before we go. I saw something pretty, I guess, depressing in the radio world about AI. So here in Arizona, there's a station here in Arizona right now that just put up an ad, and they're looking for a DJ to come in, right? Okay, they're looking for a DJ come in. Well, the reason why they want the DJ to come in is just so they can clone his voice.
Oh.
They want to clone his voice and then turn it over to AI.
Okay.
And the AI is going to do that segment of the show. It's a 5-hour show, and it's also going to be AI. So the DJ just only has to come in and say some words and says some stuff for like a little session.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have to sign off the rights to your voice. And that voice is going to be AI on the radio from then on. I think it's in Phoenix. I'm pretty sure the station's in Phoenix. I just saw that, and I was just like, oh, wow. AI could never do what we do, Victor.
No, I was going to say we have a DJ on tomorrow, but I don't know if he would want to do that, if he would want to sign his voice away.
No, like that just seems like that. I know actors are doing it now.
Right.
Like some they're doing it,
well,
but
we've talked about doing it on the radio side. Like our former news director Lou Gum always said, because before we hired Alexandra, we didn't have like a Latina voice on the air, and he was like, well, we could just maybe do AI, an AI like Latina voice, but luckily we got Alexandra, who's a human being.
Absolutely.
I'll do it, but I'm like a no sabo kid.
It's all good.
So okay, you mentioned that's how we got onto the topic, the no AI when somebody interacts. But the Latino part is like, if you don't speak English, that somebody is going to be there to be able to help and navigate through.
Correct.
Like I don't know Spanish, so I just hit up Jacob over there. Jacob Miller helps me out. So
shout out.
Shout out to you. I want to shout him out. He just texted me or tried to call him a minute ago.
Johnny probably knows the bad words in Spanish, but
I do know
we can't say those on air, Johnny.
We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But so how long have you been with Aloe?
I'm going on to 3 years.
3 years. So how long have they been here? That's like pretty close to.
I think it's 4-ish years. They've been in the industry 21 years now, but here in this market, it's 4-ish years.
Yeah. So, but how'd that work out? What were you doing before that, and then you just saw like an opening, or?
I applied not knowing what my position was, because I started off in the social team and it was digital experience team.
Is that what it said? Digital experience team?
And then Abel. Shout out to Abel too. He's the buddy. I was like, he was working for, Aloe first. I was like, hey man, like, what is this position? He was like, well, I don't know.
Yo no, or no, he said, yo no sé. Yeah. Okay. At least see what that
Okay, there we go.
Nah, he's amazing in Spanish. And then he's like, just go for it, dude. Just apply. And once I applied, and they even asked me in my interviews, like, do you know what the position is? And I was like, no. Can you elaborate? And I got the job, and
the rest is history.
So okay, but I want to know some of this history. So once you got the job, what is it? Is it doing the social media stuff?
Yes. So we have a TikTok that you'll see me there.
Oh,
heavily.
cool.
So you guys make sure to follow. If you guys see some crazy redhead doing some crazy stuff, let me just tell you, it's not
Tanya.
easy. Okay.
It's not easy.
It's a lot of bribery with these guys.
Okay.
So we have Facebook, Instagram. They also take care of emails, chat. If you go into our website, you'll chat. Not a robot will get us. So they take care of all of that. That's what our social team is. You can even sign up for service on our socials.
Because nowadays you want to get people where they are, and a lot of people are on social media, and not just young people, right? All ages, even our parents' ages and grandparents, ages.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I just heard something right now. You said you could even sign up for service through social?
You can. So we have our Facebook Arizona, and then we also have our Facebook en Español, which is brand new. So make sure to go like it too.
But to me, ease, right? The path of least resistance is what people go down, is that path. And like Victor said, if they're already there,
just go ahead and do it.
Right? Yeah. And so I didn't know that you could sign up for service on that. So that seems like a really cool deal, that they're right there and to get on Messenger and somebody could help them out to do that.
Because people might think like, hey, I need to sign up for service, or I need to, change my service, but they don't want to, they know it's going to be a long call. They're going to be on hold maybe if it's busy. But like the easier you can make it, the better.
And for our social, we have a 15-minute response time.
Okay.
So just know that you're gonna you're going to get someone.
Yeah, I was dealing with Calendly, whoever puts that on. I don't know, today, because that's what I use to book the show. Like you've gotten links, and my link was down this morning, so people are trying to book on the show, and so I'm getting support, and it's AI. It's AI trying to, and I'm like, I just need help. Just help. You just kind of like have to do this over and over again. Yeah, exactly. Agent, hurry. People are trying to book on this show. It's very important. We're right up there with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, she said Aloe would never.
Aloe would never. And then I was treated like that. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back on the other side. Then we're going to talk about Yuma Boss Babes, what that's all about, how long it's been around, and if me and Victor could be a part of it or not, if we're babes. I don't know. These are questions that I have that we're going to figure out on the other side of the break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
K-pop fans, we're going back in time for the Boys to Icons Part 2 show. Join me this week as we go back in time, where we'll see how our boys grow into young adults while facing the biggest challenge ever, performing and connecting with fans during a global pandemic. See you in 2018 for the Boys to Idols Part 2 K-pop for Border show on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on KOFA Radio.
You may have heard that prices for used vehicles are up. That car you've thought about donating to KAWC and Border Radio, it could be worth even more today than when you first started thinking about it. To learn how to get the process started, visit kawc.org/cars. Proceeds help us bring this service to you. Thanks.
You are tuned to 94.7 FM KOFA Border Radio. I'm Cecilia Holland-Braithwaite from the KAWC Newsroom. We expect a sunny day in Yuma with an afternoon high of 86 degrees. Winds are out of the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Humidity is about 69%. Mostly clear skies tonight with a low around 58 degrees. In a post on the Yuma Air Show Facebook page, the Blue Angels will be in Yuma for the first time in nearly 40 years. The 60th annual Yuma Air Show will take place this Saturday. More details online at KAWC.org.
KOFA Border Radio doesn't sound like any other radio station in Yuma. We are a non-commercial source for music from around the world, across the decades and local artists. Our hosts are volunteers. If you would like to get involved, send an email to music@borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here speaking with Tanya from Aloe, Yuma Boss Babe, Off-Road for Autism. She does it all. And how does she do it? We're going to find out at this segment of it all. So, okay, I reached out to you yesterday. I said, what do you want to talk about, Tanya? And you said Yuma Boss Babes. So let's do that. Tell us a little bit about Yuma Boss Babes and how it got started, if you know.
Yeah, so it's a fun story. So Yvonne, she's the owner of Pacific Storage.
Okay.
She loves doing interviews with other women that have businesses, right?
Oh, okay.
So she's
inquisitive, like,
yeah.
And,
so
and
she
also
just gets her phone and she does a live and asks them questions. What's your business about? This and that, right? So then Wendy and Yvonne.
And who's Wendy?
Wendy Stewart.
Wendy Stewart. Oh yeah, I know Wendy.
And Yvonne. I'm sorry, and Alma from Besaquito.
Okay.
They were like, hey, you know what? So September is American Business Women Business Day, you know. So she's like, we should do something. So Wendy's like, yeah, you know what? Let's do a little gathering. We went to Tranquility, 27 women. It was super fun. We had a nice charcuterie. We had meditation, everything that a woman wants, right? And then we also got to network, like, what do you do? This, and that. Then after that, they started getting phone calls like, hey, so what's next? When's the next event? And Wendy's like, this was like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
What's going on? So from there, we did our second event. It was like 57 women.
Wow.
And then it just became, and now we're like, we call her the OG Boss Babes,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So the original ones that started it. And now we continue to grow, and we have a Facebook page, Yuma Boss Babes, and we're over 220 women, and they're all, they don't have to be a business owner, but they're just women that are in business.
Yeah.
Women in business, yeah.
Correct.
You mentioned Wendy and Alma. I know both of them. I'm trying to get both of them on the show. Wendy's a financial planner. She's my financial planner.
Yes.
I've tried both, Victor.
yeah.
So good luck.
All right.
Good luck.
We'll see. We'll try to get them on. Maybe Tanya can help us convince them.
There you go. You got to do that. Let's see
I'll
how
get
much of a
them on
boss
here.
you are.
Yeah. and Alma owns the best taquito.
Yes, I see. Every time I see Alma, I'm like, when are you coming on my show,
Right.
Alma?
She's everywhere. Both of those ladies are just so busy all the time.
Right, because
do
they're
so
boss
much.
babes.
Yeah,
they do.
definitely.
And it's not just what, their job, but it's like so many other stuff that they do. They're involved in so much things
For
in
sure,
the
because I think
community.
the last time I saw Alma was at the Rotary event, Mardi Gras in Maine.
Yes.
That's why last time I saw her, where I got to harass her and say,
Okay.
when are you going to do my show? You always
Yeah.
say you're going to do it. And,
Okay.
And I met
try
her
to work on
actually at I think a Yuma Boss Babes event. Because
okay.
I went there like, okay, if I'm a babe or not, let for the
Yeah.
audience decide. But I went because one of my clients was speaking at it. So
okay.
one of
Yeah.
my clients was there. So I went and support for her and took some pictures and stuff. But so that's when I first met Alma, and I was like, come on the show. And this was a long time ago, and she's still not here. But it is what
okay.
it is.
So we are in Women's History Month, and so what's it like for you to have a group like this? So you say it's support, it's like, women coming together, women empowerment. What's it like for you to have this group of, women that you can go to and you're going to have fun, you're going to learn, you're going to hang out?
Yeah. So what we do is completely separate. There's so many networking events and stuff here in Yuma, right? But this is more of like a support group. We want to make it where, yes, we're networking, but we're also building relationships, right? We're women. A lot of us are in, like we were saying, in male driven industries, right? So it's so different to go to, I want to say, like maybe another woman that is a stay-at-home mom. I mean, all praise to them because they work hard, but it's hard to go to another woman and be like, my job, and it's this and that, when we can't relate. So having that where you can relate and have a mentorship.
Absolutely.
From other women that are moms, their grandmom, their daughters, wives, everything, that we have to juggle it all. It's more than just networking and like, what do you do for work? Or what can I get out of your business? What can you get out of my business? It's building that relationship and knowing that you can count on someone, and that's very hard, especially when it comes to women. But we're like so passionate to just be there for one another, So that's.
So let's go back to real quick. So you had the first event she put on, and then so what were you going to do, or how'd the next event go in creating some stuff? Because you mentioned like the first one had meditation, it had a charcuterie board, stuff like that. So like then you could just kind of just build upon it, or you take surveys, see what everybody wants to do, or.
Honestly, we were like, hey, who wants to host?
Okay.
Who's hosting?
There you go.
And then we're going to be signing up. And that's it. For every event that we do, we have an activity, right? And it's like our last one, it was just, what does it, what has changed, or what has it been for you to be part of the Boss Babes? There were some women that were crying. There were some women that were, it's like, again, it's more than just like a networking thing. And
Sure.
we had like moms from, like, they had like a 3-month-old to a 29-year-old, you know what I mean? So every single event is something different. We have one, we also had one that it was talking about marketing. How do you help your business market, and all of that stuff. And it's not just like, oh, do this for you, because every business is going to be different. You're targeting a different demographic, you know what I mean? And even yourself, or giving each other confidence, because it's hard to get out there and post yourself. And a lot of women are just more shy. They don't want to be in front of the camera. They want to be behind the camera. So it's just like giving each other like, yes, girl, you can do it.
We were talking off air before this. My wife is also a part of the Boss Babes, Yuma Boss Babes, Araceli Rodriguez. She's a lawyer. And so, it goes back to like being in a field where like, you're used to like straight white males working in those roles, like law, ag, leadership roles. So it's good to have that, and also see that like as like people that could be your mentors.
Yes.
People that have been, women that have been doing it for a while, and they might be the first, woman in their position. You were saying, I think you're the first woman in your job, in your team.
And well, here, yes, I'm very, it's very male. And I just have my coworker is a male. Almost everybody is a male. Sometimes it's not that I'm bossing them around, but I'm asking them like, hey, I need this. And it's so different. But everybody, like, we have a vast variety. Like, we have health, we have food, we have construction, we have storages, we have childcare, dancers. It's so different, and then there's me, but I'm like, okay, where do I fall in that category?
Well, it sounds like what you mentioned is some of the things. It's right. Like, people don't like to be in front of the camera, but in the day and age of social media, if you have a business, you kind of have to do some reels where you get in front of the camera and talk about your business. And you're very good. We have a camera on your face right now, and you're doing great. So I could see that's part of your role. It's like telling it, hey, you could do this, or maybe coaching. I don't know if that's what you do, but I could see you provide that type of value. Yeah,
and that's something that we were in our, not our last event, but the one prior, when we were talking about like marketing and stuff like that. And it was just, some women were like, I just don't feel comfortable. I rather just record my work and, post it. But we're like, we want to know the face. Yeah. Sometimes you want to know who's behind it because you don't know. Like, I met the owner of the peanut patch and I was like, oh my God, I was so excited because, who doesn't love the peanut patch,
Yeah, shout out to the peanut patch.
Yes.
And was it Senor Peanut or something?
The mascot on the sign or whatever. But, but they have, good products there, gummy bears, chocolates, nuts.
Yeah, and then you kind of mention it. It's a long-standing staple of a business here in Yuma. Yes. That if you're from here, like back when we were kids, we would they would take you on a tour there in elementary school. Like, you would go over there and you would see what they have going on. But you mentioned now you got to meet the owner, the one that's behind all of this, which I believe a little bit older, probably not very, I guess would say
tech savvy.
Yeah, tech savvy, right? But it's like you could be like, hey, you got to get in front of that camera and you got to do a reel or two. People like just as excited I was to meet you, other people might be excited too.
She was so kind too, and like me, it may not seem like it, but I get terrified when it comes to public speaking. And that's something that I work on, and that's what the Boss Babes help me out because.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so
they have to give you a mic if they.
Oh my! Yes.
Okay, it's time for Tanya to present.
Yes, this is the thing though. I do it to other people to have them break out of their shell, But then it was like, here you go, Tanya. So, and last event was. About 35 women, and then they just give me the mic, and I'm like, you guys, I'm so scared. But it helps, and that's one of the things we push each other to.
Because you're in a room that's very, supportive, and it's, you're not going to have it's not going to be like Mean Girls where people are going to be like, oh, so-and-so, but they're going to be like, no, go girl, you go girl.
Yeah. I know us women can sometimes be intimidating, but that's something that we don't do here. We want you to feel as comfortable as possible, that if we see a shy person coming in and they're like, hey, come here, sit with me, and that's something that we did. I was like, hey, I just met you. We're becoming besties now. Okay. I was like, I love what you do.
Yeah.
You're my best friend now. But that's what we try to do, have everybody feel comfortable within each other and be able to go to one another and ask for advice and help each other out.
So how's it been growing? Is it just kind of naturally growing where people like word of mouth and tell other like, hey, if you have a business or like you said, in business, you don't have to own one.
Yes.
But like this is a good resource. Or do you guys kind of like go out and do like fundraisers or anything like that? Or
no, I think it's just been a word of mouth, and Wendy's been our MVP, and a lot of the women like, how did you hear about it? She's like, well, Wendy invited me. Wendy invited me. So we've been blessed with Wendy, Alma, Yvonne, everybody, Josie, all of our OGs that have put in so much time, and effort, to do this. And like, even me, like Regina, she's the owner of Elite Engraving, and
I love Regina. She's awesome.
Boss,
yeah, she's cool.
And I go to her, and sometimes I have to vent to her, and I'm like, oh my God. Her husband works at Aloe too, so she knows,
Yes,
and it's just
tell me about it, girl.
Yeah, and it's good to have that, that support and be able to go with someone, you know, that you can lean on.
Yeah.
And just even vent.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Thing.
And then while you brought up Regina, I want to give a shout out to her because I do the MC work or the hosting for the Penitentiary Pint Fest every year over there for Fort Yuma Rotary. And so she ended up telling everybody in Fort Yuma Rotary, like, no, you definitely have to get Johnny for the Mardi Gras in Maine, the one that just passed. And she was a big cheerleader of mine. And she went over there. She's like, no, you have to have him do it. So thank you to Regina for doing that. And she's wonderful. She always says like how great I do and stuff like that. So we became best friends after that. So but I know that support is important, right? And that's kind of why I bring it up. And like she gave me that support so I could see how she's bringing that to your network.
Yeah. And I feel like that's with every woman, you know, when I feel like we're not like someone's position is smaller than the other. Nobody's bigger than another. Just because you're a business owner and you're an employee, they don't make you feel less than or more than, you know what I mean? We're all there. We're all women and we're boss babes.
All right. So we're kind of wrapping up here at the end. You said that you're growing, you're looking for more people. And how could people that are listening, women, the babes out there, I get what's the
boss babes.
The boss babes, the ones that like to tell people what to do. How can you tell them where to find you and to get a hold of you?
So we are on Facebook. It's Yuma Boss Babes. You will, you know, add yourself on there. We'll have somebody from the OGs go there. They'll welcome you. They'll tag you in a post. And we are going to ask you to either introduce yourself with a photo and a poster. If you want to do a video, I always recommend a video. Explain what you do, who you are, what you want to do, and what you expect. And just get to know each other.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to have a poll in the comments and see if I'm a babe or not, if I could join. It's up to you.
It's 2026, Johnny.
Yeah,
you can be a babe. You can be a boss babe.
Yeah,
it's a mentality.
I love you, Victor. That's it. This is the best right here. So
Johnny is a boss when it comes to, Yuma.
Yes.
Community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Always great having you on, Tanya. I really, really appreciate you. And I'm going to let you get back to work now. And we are going to come back. And who are we coming back with, Victor?
Araceli Aquino with Rural Arizona Action.
We're going to do that right after this. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here on 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, crafted in Welton, inspired by the desert, offering scratch-made food, handcrafted beers, live music, and experiences like farm tours and glamping. Location information, the schedule of events, and details on the range of options to be enjoyed are at hightanks.com.
From KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer. Arizona Western College celebrated a decade of transformation at the Shoning Conference Center last week. The event featured a fireside chat with college president Dr. Daniel Kaur, moderated by Onvita Health Medical Group president Dr. Christina Diaz. Kaur has led the college since 2016. At the event, he discussed developments including enrollment growth, expanded early college programs, and new workforce training initiatives across Yuma and La Paz counties. At the retrospective, AWC also released a report highlighting its growth over the past 10 years. In a video about the event, Kaur summarized it this way.
No matter what path a matador takes to become a student at Arizona Western College, you can be assured that they will be supported and encouraged and challenged during their time here at AWC.
As the decade wraps, so will Kaur's tenure. He intends to retire this June and will be succeeded by Dr. Ritika Dewan. From KAWC News, I'm Cisco Stargazer. And yes, AWC is indeed our license holder.
Welcome to KAWC's The Hotspot.
I'm Chloe Michael.
And I'm Maya Manry. This week, in honor of Black History Month, we spoke with members of the Black community in Yuma, where they shared its turbulent past and the welcoming present.
When there's so little Black people in Yuma, I think it's great to connect with other Black people.
The show is available as a podcast or online at kawc.org under the shows tab.
Bringing the heat to Yuma and La Paz, it's The Hotspot.
The AWC Foundation is accepting nominations for the Arizona Western College Hall of Fame through March 14th. The Hall of Fame honors alumni, faculty, and community leaders who have made significant contributions to the mission of the college or in service to the larger world. More at foundation.azwestern.edu.
From
From KAWC, this is Siendo Primero. I'm Melanie Ruiz Lopez.
And I'm Sajay Barcenas. We'll be talking about jobs and experience for students.
I fell in love with the art of being in the kitchen, making food, and making people happy.
Taking that chance is going to be what's going to get you to the next stage or future.
Es una cantidad enorme de estudiantes que quieren trabajar.
A new energy with the same mission, to give students a voice.
I'm Mike Suba, and I'm a big supporter of KAWC. You're getting a great source of information about our community, about the people that are working and living here, and you start going, you know what, this is really a valued service. And that's the great thing, is you've got a partnership here. And I'm a big believer in partnerships because the one thing I realized early on in life, I can maybe do a lot of stuff on a very limited basis, but when I start partnering up, it's amazing what we can do when we pool our resources. And so I hope that when people are listening to the station, enjoying the news broadcasts and the entertainment shows that are being presented, that they realize that you're not only the end user and enjoying what is being broadcast to you, but it can be a partnership too, where you can participate like I've discovered I can do and help get this service, enhance it, and provide even better programming. I'm Mike Suba, and I support KAWC.
If you're having a hard time deciding on the perfect way to show your love to your favorite station, just listen to your heart. Whether it's calling for you to give a one-time cash gift or to donate that extra vehicle you no longer need, either way, it's easy and will help Border Radio bring you more hours of your favorite programs. Learn more about the ways to give at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up, Yuma Radio. And before we get to our guest, I have breaking news. Cecilia, who monitors the comments over here, said that no, I'm not allowed to go.
Yeah, to the Boss Babes.
Yeah, to the Boss Babes. Somebody else in the comments. I'm not allowed to go.
Women only.
Women only. So all right. I will take it. But anyway, Victor, you helped put together our next guest, and I know I had. Somebody affiliated with her. So I want you to introduce her and then maybe talk a little bit about that episode. Did you watch that episode at all?
I did watch the episode. Okay. So again, this is Victor Calderon, and our first guest today is Araceli Aquino. She's the communications manager for Rural Arizona Engagement, or RAZE, and Rural Arizona Action. Did I get that right?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Right.
Thank you for being here this morning.
I'm excited. Thank you, guys.
And so we were talking off air. Yeah, we'll get that. Yeah, there you go. Get it nice close to you. We're talking off air that one of my previous guests is your coworker, and I know they have a group on campus. Yes. That is like what would you call it? It's not a spin-off, but like an extension of what you do?
Like a student part of the group?
Yeah, it's our youth program. So yeah, it is like a branch of like the overall mission of our organization.
Gotcha. And so can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so for Rural Arizona Action, our youth program or college-aged program here at AWC is called RAZE Advocates. So basically what they do is they research issues, they look around their community, look at local issues that are important to them that they see are affecting their community, and they research it and they try to figure out how to tackle it.
Yeah, and when I had them on, a great group of people, and they really did. They did a lot of questionnaires, went down into the community, saw how these different, like you said, issues affected each individual, did their due diligence, and came back and said, okay, now what's our game plan?
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So they study, they it's their lived experiences. They know what's needed in their community.
And we had 4 of the students on as well, 4 of the students. And one of them is here with us, Melanie Ruiz Lopez. And
she does
Siendo Primero.
There we go. That one. She does that one. Yeah, that was
She's
really
one of the
cool.
Co-hosts along with Sajay Barcenas.
I'm not going to say that name either, but we like to get to know our guests a little bit.
Yes.
So are you originally from Yuma or?
So, no.
Yuma-ish?
No.
Kind of like
Yuma adjacent, maybe?
No, yeah. So, no, I'm not originally from Yuma. I claim it. I am proud to say that I'm from Yuma. I'm originally from California, born and raised there.
It's not your fault. It's your parents' fault. No, I'm just kidding.
What part of California?
Victor's from Cali, too.
Riverside County, Harupa Valley area.
Okay, is that like East LA kind of or a little east of there?
I don't think it's, I think it's pretty, I honestly don't know.
It's been a while.
The Inland Empire, right? That's like,
yes, it is.
Yeah. That's the IE.
Yes.
Yeah, the IE over there.
I do know.
Yeah, you were raised over there, or?
Yeah, I was raised there up until I was like 9 years old.
And then you got into gangs, and your family said, "We got to get her out of it." No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I just know Empire could be a little rough.
No, yeah, I feel so detached from California. So like it's been so
You're
long
more of an
ago.
Arizona.
Yeah, so now I just claim Arizona.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was raised there until I was like 9 years old by two hardworking immigrant parents. And
Awesome.
then around 9 years old, they had to make the difficult decision to leave California, and we moved to my father's hometown, which is Ciudad Morelos, Baja California in Mexico. It's also known as Cuervos, and I lived there. My parents still live there, but I lived there from 9 years old to around 16, and that's when I moved to Yuma with a friend, and I started going to Yuma High.
Oh, wow. So you moved here with a friend.
Yes, by myself.
By yourself.
Yeah.
You're 16. What was that like?
I was honestly really happy. I think I love my parents so much, but I'm not sure who your guys' parents are, but immigrant parents are very, they could be a little overbearing.
A little strict.
Yeah, strict. So I was really happy to get away from them. And my mom, I feel like I've always been a good kid. My mom never really had to worry about me. So even though it was super sad, she was super sad to let me go, she was okay with it.
But there's like that sense of trust that they know that they have a good girl.
She's a good kid. Like we know she's not gonna be getting into bad
Vida Loca
behavior
or anything.
Yeah, and my friend's mom, her name is Devaney, so shout out to her. Her mom was she was super cool, and she took care of us, and she was a nice lady. So my mom knew I was in good hands.
So why Yuma? Why Yuma? Why'd you come out? Because you were in Baja California. Why'd you come out to Yuma?
So around the ages of 9 to 15, I actually because I am a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
So my mom, she wanted me to continue my education in the States. So she figured out a way for me to go to school to San Pasqual.
Oh, okay.
So I went to San
That makes
Pasqual
sense.
Elementary, middle school, and high school, and I would cross the border every single day, waking up at 4 a.m., get ready, drive to Algodones, cross the border, run to my bus stop, and get to school.
Wow.
And do that every single day.
Yeah.
And then I knew about Yuma because my grandma, she has a visa. She had a visa and she could cross, and she would take us on errands and go to the grocery store. So I would get to see Yuma. We'd go to Del Sol, and I miss California so much, but I knew that was that life was just long gone. So I yearned for Yuma. I was like, I want to live here because it's such a culture shock when you moved. I lived in California. I went to Knott's Berry Farm every summer. I watched Hannah Montana on my TV, and now I am living in Mexico. We have no cable. We had no Wi-Fi. We lived in a rural town.
Right. Was it like a rancho, like a ranch?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
So all of that was taken from me, and I just really missed living in the States, and I missed living near friends.
Having Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching Hannah Montana or other shows.
Exactly.
You don't get those in Mexico necessarily.
Exactly. And then Yuma, my friend lived in Yuma, and I can't remember if she asked or if I asked her if I could move in with her, but, surprisingly, her parents said yes, that I could move in with them. And yeah, I was so happy, and I don't regret it. I've been in Yuma ever since. I did leave to Phoenix for a bit to go to GCU, Grand Canyon University, to study social work, but that didn't end up working out. So I ended up coming back to Yuma, finishing my social work associate's degree here at AWC. That was during COVID, so I didn't really get a traditional college experience. But yeah, I feel like Yuma has been that steady safety net for me, and it's always been there for me. And this is my home, so that I don't really if you ask me anything about California, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a beautiful story. And so you came over here, obviously, like you said, they could be a little strict, but there's reasons why they are the way they are, right?
Exactly.
They have a different appreciation for things because of how hard they have to work. And then, but you made the decision, and it sounded like the right decision. You moved out and became successful. So, okay, I want to talk a little bit about your trajectory to the social work side. So how did that become a thing? Was that something always in you, or?
So it's funny. Every time I got asked, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? That question would panic me as a kid because I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. Like, I want to be like a teacher. I want to be a vet. I want to be a photographer. So many things like came up. But ultimately, I knew I wanted to help. I don't know exactly like what that meant. I just knew I wanted to help people. And then I found out about social work. And I was really interested in it. Honestly, I'm not opposed to exploring more into the field. I only got my associate's degree, so I really don't have much experience with it. I didn't get to use my degree for anything. But yeah, I just really wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to help.
So that was the common thread between it. It was like help, right? So you help. And then, how'd you find out about the social? You said you found out about it. Like, what'd that look like? And then you're just like, okay, this is it. This is because there's other ways to help, right? There's nursing, there's all kinds of things. But what was it about the social work that said, this is it?
Yeah. So for nursing, I was like, I knew I just didn't have that in me.
Okay.
Like that takes a whole different person.
Yeah,
but,
I don't.
But for social work, I think during our junior year, like your school starts asking you and it gets like more serious. The pressure starts getting.
You're more and more panicked now. It's
Yeah. So like your counselor sits with you and they're like, what do you want to do? And so I think I was like looking through like, they made us take a survey, I think. Like it's about like basically like a quiz, like about your personality traits, your interest. And I think one of the ones that popped up for mine was social work. And I looked more into it and I was like, okay, so it's not just, like CPS stuff. Like I could like do other things with it and, support people that do need help and that just, they are lacking a support system.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool that one of those little questionnaires actually help you find that mission in life, that purpose. The thing that used to panic you was on the other side of a quiz that you took. That's pretty interesting. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to find out your position and what do you do for, so what rural action is it like?
So there's two. There's Rural Arizona Action.
Rural Arizona Action, there we go.
Rural Arizona Engagement or RAZE.
Yes.
Okay,
it's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
I wrote it down so I would say it correctly.
So you're so good, Victor. I needed to get like that. But we're going to find out exactly a little bit more about that after this break. You're listening to What's Up Yuma Radio right here at 94.7 KOFA Border Radio.
If Border Radio were a commercial station, we'd probably play something other than the music you hear now, and, of course, play commercials. But you probably listen to Border Radio because we're not that. We're non-commercial community radio. But the only way we can do this is when you choose to support it. Visit borderradioaz.org/donate to give today.
Strong high pressure in the region is building over the next few days, leading to drying conditions and near record temperatures by the weekend. In Yuma, Parker, and Quartzsite today, we expect it to be sunny with an afternoon high just under 90 degrees. Winds out of the north-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with a low around 58.
I'm Public Radio Runner. Join me for Bonus Smiles, the show sharing the stories and playlists that fuel runners. Why? Because the rando cheering you on at a mile 77 aid station is the same kind of person who supports local public radio. Join us every Saturday at 5 a.m. on KOFA at 94.7 FM for stories that soothe and jams that power long runs.
Run by music lovers like yourselves, KOFA Border Radio has what you need. A non-commercial home filled with music heard from all over the world. Tune in at 94.7 FM, 1320 AM on the KOFA app or at borderradioaz.org.
What's up, Yuma? Welcome back to What's Up Yuma Radio. We are here with Araceli with
Rural Arizona Action and Rural Arizona Engagement.
All right. So, okay, we're going to get down to the bottom of this. Why is there two names, right?
Yes.
And what do you do for each?
So I am the communications manager for both Rural Arizona Engagement, also known as RAZE, and Rural Arizona Action. They are separate organizations. They're sister organizations.
They're sister organizations, okay, but
they
separate.
serve separate purposes.
Okay.
So on the RAZE side, we are completely nonpartisan. Our only mission is to encourage civic participation in rural and border communities.
Mm-hmm.
And, hence Yuma. So that's why we're here in Yuma. Yep. We're also in Cochise County, La Paz. We do work in La Paz, Pinal County, and Coconino counties. And then for Rural Arizona Action, our mission is to advocate for policies that benefit rural Arizonans, because oftentimes the bills that are being introduced at the legislature, they sometimes don't consider rural Arizonans and the realities that we have to face and what we live in, because sometimes the bills are just centered on urban experiences. Yeah. So, it's our goal to, we take our policy team, and our policy team goes or tries to bring people to the Capitol, to the state Capitol, to advocate or, oppose certain bills that are harmful. And we also hold elected officials accountable.
Yeah. So being up in Phoenix, I know a lot of people here in Yuma County talk about the Maricopa County mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like Phoenix only, right? So people have to. I know our elected officials, and when we had Governor Hobbs here recently, last week or the week before, for her State of the State. So we want that focus on rural issues.
Yes.
What that means, because people in Phoenix don't always know what's going on in Yuma County, Somerton, San Luis, Welton. So we need to bring that to their attention, and so groups like Rural Arizona Action is doing that.
And it's very appreciated, because I've been around. I've been doing talk radio for a long time now, and so I've been around politics and seeing how this stuff works. And it's almost like there's not like a particular bad guy in Phoenix that does it, but it's just they come from the suburbs, right? They come from a certain area, there's a certain life that they live, and they just don't know what it's like.
Exactly.
They just don't know, right? And so they're going to create the laws based upon what they know. Right. And if we don't advocate for ourselves in more rural areas, then it's like, well, they made the decision. They didn't know any better.
Yeah.
So your groups like what you have are the ones that bring that forward, correct?
Exactly. And you said it best, we have to advocate for ourselves. There's no, we can't rely on outsiders to save us. Only we can save ourselves. And we know our experiences. We know our lived realities. We know that in San Luis, the broadband access is terrible. You lose service in most of the town. So, there's issues like that's such niche issues, but that's our everyday realities. And Phoenix people, they can't even comprehend, what do you mean? There's no service here.
Right.
So things like that.
And on the news side, for KWC, I've talked to Junior Figueroa, as I think his name, a student who's really involved in San Luis, and there's other students like him.
Yes.
And so I know, his thing was he talked about the Colorado River needing to, just bring to people's attention, hey, don't forget us, don't forget Yuma County. And they're usually good at, maintaining, the interest when it comes to, ag and, tribal communities, making sure that they have the water that they need, right? The workers in the fields have the, water that they need to do what they do. So so working with students like that, and if you could just mention briefly what they do, working with the students, and shout out some of the students who do that work.
Yeah, Junior Figueroa, he was actually our RAZE leader. So as I mentioned, RAZE Advocates, that's on our Rural Arizona Action advocacy side, and then we have RAZE leaders, that's on our nonpartisan side. And the students, they also researched their issues. They learned about water sustainability, and Junior was one of the students in a cohort, of RAZE Leaders cohort, that took interest in this issue. And we actually got to take the students on a trip to the Colorado River. I went to. I was pretty scared, but we went whitewater rafting.
What?
Yeah, it was amazing. Our political director, Antonio Ramirez, he organized it along with his team, and we were able to bring students from San Luis to the Colorado River and see the Grand Canyon.
Oh, very cool.
So Junior, the tour guide was telling us about, so many things have happened with the Colorado River. And one of the things that actually stuck with me, he said it, the tour guide said it as a joke, but he said, oh yeah, our manager jokes with us and says that in the near future, we're not going to be doing these whitewater rafting tours. We're going to be doing our, what does he say? He said AV tours or something like that.
Oh, because the water is going to be gone.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something we have to be mindful of that, you could take for granted if there's not somebody advocating because, again, not to paint any bad guys, but, Queen Creek and places like that will swallow it up as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it's cool to, I like to see young people in high school and college, young adults like Araceli, who actually care about the community and want to, raise their voices in a positive way. Maybe they go out and they protest, for a positive thing, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever the issue may be, but they actually care versus younger people who just, are on their screens, right?
Absolutely.
Or using social media for good, here's what we're doing. We're trying to make things for the better. Get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And with Junior's case too, we had Environmental Day at the Capitol. That's a day of action organized by the Sierra Club of Arizona. So they gather a bunch of community or statewide organizations to rally at the Capitol and advocate for sustainability. And Junior was actually invited to speak at the Capitol, and that's where he spoke about the Colorado River and how the Colorado River is vital to Yuma's economy. We produce 90% of the griefy leans in all of the U.S. So he really just tried, telling our elected officials and our governor, please, we need to work together to come to a solution and solve this issue. And, he was able to list off some issues. I cannot name them at the top of my head right now.
We're not going to hold you to that.
So one of those issues, because we have a few minutes left in the show, is I want to ask you about, there's an event coming up next month. There's a mental health forum. So tell us about that, please.
Oh, yeah, our mental health forum. So it's called Building Healthy Futures for Youth. And this was an issue, mental health is an issue that our students in these programs identified is, and
I just want to say they brought that up on the show, that they saw that was a big issue and that's something they wanted to help take care of. So
since then, it's been, I think, 2 years now. It's going to be the second year here in Yuma. We also have it in Pinal County, but next month on April 18th, which is a Saturday starting at 9 a.m., it's completely free. We are hosting a mental health forum here at AWC, actually, main campus in the foothills. So we bring together youth. We want to center their voices, so the main focus is on youth and their mental challenges and what they have to say about the resources that are available to them here in a rural community. And we talk to mental health professionals, parents, teachers. The whole community is invited to come and learn more about how they can support our youth.
Mm-hmm. And so I have another question real quick. So communications, you went from social work and now you're in the communications part of social work. How'd that happen? Because you are very well spoken. You did a great job on this show. So tell us a little bit real quick before we got to go. How'd you get that?
Oh, so it's funny. I actually was looking for a job and I saw that this organization was hiring for a digital fellow, which was basically just creating Canva graphics for them to post on their social media. And from there, I stayed there for about a year and a half, and then they asked me to apply for their communications manager position. I didn't know what a communications manager was. I don't have a degree in communications, but they took that leap of faith in me, and it all, now I'm doing this for 2 years. I was able to connect with Victor through my role here, Cisco too. Cisco Stargazer, the Yuma Sun. So that's basically how it happened. I don't really have any experience in communications, but I'm learning as I go.
But it sounds like somebody like that you could learn on the go and commit to it and make the best out of that situation. And then here you are, because I was impressed to know before we went on air, you've done whole press conferences.
Yeah, I did a press conference for Cesar Chavez Day. We were just talking about immigrant rights and honoring Cesar Chavez's work. So I was able to lead that.
So you like it? You like doing it?
Yeah, I definitely grew up being an introvert. So this really put the pressure on me. And I've been finding my confidence since then, being someone in my early 20s. It's really exciting. I'm honestly so happy. I don't know if I would go back to social work. I'm still, I'm still curious about it, but I really do like communications. I really love it.
But then with this, you get to do a little bit of both, right? Because you're it's still on the social side of things, what you're doing, advocating, stuff like that, because that's a big social need. But then also, once you found your way into the communication part, you express yourself and build that confidence.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm still able to share resources. I manage our social medias on both accounts. It's double the work, but it's awesome. I love hearing back from the community. I didn't know that this was happening, because we do weekly AZ leg recaps from the Capitol.
Okay.
So share with our viewers and listeners briefly what the URLs or what the handles are for those accounts.
Yeah, so on all platforms you can find Rural Arizona Action, where we give AZ leg updates. So Arizona state politic updates weekly at Rural AZ Action, and then for RAZE on all social media platforms, it is Rural AZ Engage.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for everything that you guys do. And if you want to bring in, like anytime, any of the students, you guys are totally welcome, or anybody else that's advocating, or if like there's a big issue that's coming up or something that you want to talk about and we got to let Congress know or the state, whatever, come on and let's let everybody know.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And with that, time for the legal read. What's Up Yuma Radio is a production of KAWC, Colorado River Public Media. We broadcast from the studios in the Matador Activity Center at Arizona Western College in Yuma. We want to thank our engineer, Talon Gonzalez, along with Anthony Arnales, Juan Garcia, Dave Reek, and Cecilia.
You can find out more about KOFA at borderradioaz.org and on the KOFA app. Stay tuned for KOFA's Midday Music.
And on tomorrow's show, yes, we do have a DJ KM7, Jose Montoya. And is this your DJ from the group?
Yeah, he's the DJ for the 49ers fan group that is here in Yuma.
Yeah, very, very cool. As well as Diane Hilligas, I think that's how you say the
from
last name.
From the Yuma Comics.
Yeah, from
comic book store.
FanQuest, yep.
And you can listen to the podcast version of our program and check out past episodes anytime at kawc.org/podcast/What's Up Yuma Radio.
And if you want to book on this show, you can do it now. Yes, that link was broken for a little bit, but I fixed it this morning. whatsupyuma.biz. Go to whatsupyuma.biz, hit that radio link, and book your story so I can get on here and tell it.
What's Up Yuma is sponsored by High Tanks Brewing Company, serving up scratch-made food, craft beers, and experiences at 2 desert locations in Welton. More at hightanks.com.
This is Border Radio, KOFA Yuma. We can be heard on a radio at 94.7 FM and 1320 AM, on a computer at kawc.org, and on your phone with the KOFA app. We have been a service of Arizona Western College for more than 55